All right, welcome back to our body system vodcasts. Now, as you guys know, I did not make a podcast, or I apologize, a PowerPoint for the skeletal or muscular system, so I'm actually going to use one of yours. We'll see if you can figure out whose I used. I won't give any clues, like that the name starts with a J or anything. But the skeletal system, as you can see, it is what provides support and protection for our body. So the skeletal system really has two jobs: support and protection. We talked about without the bones for the support, we would be a blob on the floor. And the protection is what we will go into next. You can see there's three things, or three bones, I guess you could say, or structures of bones that protect. First one is the skull. Very, very important. That is what protects the brain. Trust me, if you guys did not have a skull, your head would be just like a mushy blob. Next, you have your ribs. Very important to protect the lungs and the some of your abdominal organs. Now, your intestines and part of your stomach, things like that, are not protected, but pancreas, part of your liver is. But mainly your lungs, and what is not here is your heart. That is protected by the ribs. And one of the last things is the spine, made up of your vertebrae, protects the spinal cord. We talked about the spinal cord earlier. It is the super highway of all your nerves. We've talked about if the spinal cord were to be severed, that's what causes paralysis, whether you're paralyzed from the waist down, shoulders down, wherever. Now, where bones come together, that's what we call joints. There's a couple different joints in our body. One is a ball and socket joint. Okay? Ball and socket joints are mainly ones that we can think of here are our shoulder and where our femur meets our pelvis in our hip area. That is a ball and socket joint. Now, the student here has knee. Let's just cross that out here. Okay, we don't need the knee. Oops. That is not a ball and socket joint, but your shoulders and hips are. Now, hinge joint, on the other hand, that's what the knee is. The elbow is also a hinge joint. Okay, and then our pivot joints. Our pivot joints is, yes, where the radius meets the humerus, and that part of the elbow is a pivot joint, and also our neck. Our head and our neck is a pivot joint. It allows our head to pivot upon an axis. It's kind of like basketball. You have a pivot foot that you can move when you have the ball. And then lastly, we have the ligaments. Ligaments and tendons get confused quite often, but ligaments are the bands of tissue that connect bone to bone. Ligaments are bone to bone, and they are what hold your joints together. Where the bones meet at a joint, those ligaments hold them together. And that's where you can see, you hear about a lot of sport injuries being the ACL, which stands for the anterior cruciate ligament. Yeah, that's a bad one, because you don't have very much then holding your femur to your tibia and fibula. And that's a big part of any sport, being able to run. Oh, I guess we do have one more. We do get into the cartilage. The cartilage is also important. It covers the bone's end where they meet at. So they cover those bone ends at the joints, and they help the joint move smoothly. And it protects those bones from wear and tear. Think about what it would be like if you didn't have that cartilage to cushion your joints, to help them move slowly. It'd be like grinding. Think about putting sandpaper together, two pieces, and rubbing together. Ooh, yikes. That just sends shivers down my spine thinking about it. Well, that's it for the skeletal system. See you next time.